Well, what's up there, guys? Elton McFALL here, aka Retro Old School. Rocking some Bob Marley on internet radio. Matter of fact, I'll give it a plug. I listen to Accu Radio. I don't mind giving them a plug, considering it doesn't cost me anything to listen except for the what do you call it? The amount of data that I use, streaming, whatever. Anyway, I'm happy to take a break, I think, right now from working on the wall of this structure here. And yeah, I hadn't worked on this baby in a few weeks because, art is not like washing the dishes, in a sense where you're gonna have to have, for one thing, the real motivation to get the paints and the brushes out and set up the easel, and and because you're working with some precisement, because when you make mistakes, it takes more time. You have to fix it. And it's, that's why I was going crazy when I worked on that train in November. It's so meticulous that you gotta constantly touch up the roof here, and then most things you need like 3 coats of paint. Like, for example, the Monarch here, as you can see, if you remember the part 2. Actually, you know what? Let me just show you that right here. Show you where we were before here on what I've done. I uploaded that video June 3rd. Yeah, so there it is. Gloria, you want to say hello? Yeah. Who's a good kitty cat? Who's a good Gloria? Who's a good booming? Yeah, anyway, she looks pretty happy, that's for sure. I mean, the sun's out. It's finally a nice afternoon. Had some thunderstorms this morning. I filmed it. You may have seen it here first. And anyway, so still feeling not great lately, but whatever. Like I said, I kicked myself in the ass today to put some work on this. So I put another coat of paint on the brown there, and I worked that gold and the whatever the hell the brown is I was using. And you know what? It looks even cooler than I thought it would. I mean, look at the difference when I just had a regular brown paint in part 2. And now it's fantastic. And it's not even done. I mean, I have to put another coat. I have to touch this up, especially over here. That's not very good. See the black streaks here, and it's just here. It's just not a nice smooth line. All that has to be fixed. There's tons of work to do on this. I got to get to the grill. I'm gonna have to work on the crown. I have to work on the chrome. I have to fix the tire again for like the 3rd time. I got a hard time with this front wheel. It was out of whack before. It was just crooked. Even this is on the 2nd coat of paint there on that wall, but I have to actually adjust something because I've always had a hard time is perspective. And you see, like, this actually is one of my better examples of how good I can be with perspective. This even was tough also because when you're doing the headlights on the right compared to the left, it's further away. That's what I mean by perspective, I think. And this is what I'm talking about here. Here I took my time drawing this out, so I got it pretty much exactly the angle I wanted to do it. The Monarch, that is. Now the building is almost like that too, but you see, I made a mistake here. You see, this starts off good, but then like over here, it should actually go sloping downward still, but not under the roof like that. I should have actually, say about like let me see if I can zoom out. Say like this. So I'm gonna have to fix that. Meaning I'm gonna have to fix that sign. I'm gonna have to fix the window ledges there, and yeah, not that job, but it's okay. It's it's a labor of love. And now it's sunny, and I'm tempted to go out, even though my friggin' hernia has been hurting me today. I was gonna say it's no joke getting old, but yeah, but that's not really relative to this. My brother was like fucking 25 when he had a hernia, and it was major. So yeah, man. I'm happy to say it's going well. Oh, one more thing, actually, before I start wrapping this up. There's 2 things I forgot. First of all, that's a real building I'm using a picture of, and I unfortunately closed the window, but it's called the Home Canning Company, and it's on Davidson Street, the street next to mine. So basically behind my apartment where I'm pointing. See, like parallel. See, my street is there, and Davidson is behind that, and there's this really old building, and it looks like it could be used for, back in the day picture, whatever, 80s and under, specifically 70s and under, and it's just old school. It's just an old brick building, and it's got these wire mesh friggin' grills on the windows, you know, for like theft protection. And okay, well I don't have it here up here, but you know what? Next time, I think I showed it in part 2 anyway. That building. The other thing I wanted to mention is that well, you see, I'm not close to the end, so when I get close to the end, then I put in, so to speak, my doors. You know, you put in the lines where the door is open, the creases. You put the door handles. Now I was looking at this, I'm like, fuck, you know what, this looks so cool. I love this angle, I love the colors, I like the way it's going. And I'm like, you know what, I'm almost tempted to do a 2-door hardtop, but I'm like, fuck, I can't do that. You know, I like to make things as realistic as possible, because every car has a story. You know, whether it's the make itself or who it belonged to or whatever, you know. So therefore, these cars, these Monarchs, you know, these years, even before, I mean, it was, you know, what kind of people bought these? They're probably older men, like 50 and up. And, you know, they bought a 4-door. It was business. Really, I don't know. I didn't see a family guy buying this kind of car. It just was a weirdo. Great success when it came out, the name, and a Canadian name, of course, in 1946. But, you know, in its last year in 61, it never came back. It only came back in 75 as a mid-size car, but that was an American line. It wasn't a Canadian Monarch anymore. So, again, I'm still mulling it around. I'm like, man, I think I'm doing a 2-door. I'm like, you know, me with my obsession with 4 doors, fuck, I'm obsessed with everything. Here, let me give you a quick tour of my place, how obsessed I am with the same things. It's beautiful, but sometimes it's not a good thing, you know, like, see, look at that, all those are ads, magazines, all related to cars, or connected to vehicles, you know. Sometimes I think it's amazing I haven't sold this painting. Man, seriously, if you guys, you know, somebody who's got a Wrecker 359 Peterbilt, or a Peterbilt 359, or it looks like this, or whatever, man, I mean, you can't be flexible too much on a price this stuff. I made it, you know? And just to give you guys a little continuation here, this also should be sold. Yeah, my friend Julian asked me to do a tour of my place. I never did. Not really, anyway. It was more of a room by room kind of thing. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I just wanted to show you guys some of the other stuff that I've done. Yeah, RTO. I'll just put some light in here. Here we go. This one also specifically, I can't believe I haven't sold it. You know, one time many years ago, I don't know, 2011 or 12 or something, it wasn't even framed. I had it in a restaurant. Some guy offered $200 for it. I'm like, well, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. You're not just paying for the work, you're paying for the fucking idea. Where are you going to find a painting of a Montreal GM New Look bus, classic, you know, fucking 80s, 70s, whatever. Same thing with that. Same thing with the interior view with the driver, who ironically looks like a new best friend of mine who's a bus driver, has got hair like that. This is something I bought at the Expo Rail in Saint Constant. Apparently it was used in a movie. They had a few of these different pictures, streetcars. Ah, it's beautiful. I love it. Notre Dame Street. I don't know, Lachine, St. Henry. This is something I got on the trade. Yeah. Almost everything you see is for sale. Of course, this isn't for sale, and neither is the picture next to it, because that's Ben Loman, and, who did these. And, you know, although unfortunately we're not on speaking terms, I would never sell that. It's just, I paid him to do these for one thing, and he was my friend, so it's special, you know. And this... should sell this to Julian if you get to see this, buddy. I bought this in 2006, I think, and I paid, this is a real thing, by the way, it's not a reproduction, This is 1961, man, MTC, Montreal Transportation Commission, right? Celebrating at that time 100 years, 1861, 1961. Anyway, I bought this off an antiques dealer in Montreal, in Griffintown, in 2006. I paid, I don't know, $55 for it. But if I sell it, I gotta make a little cash, you know, so I'm thinking that 10 years later or more, you know, $75. But I'm not made of steel, you know. There's Elio's Pizzeria, still there on Belchas. Yeah, an amazing drawing with there was a couple of drawings like this where I used paint for the sky, because it's just, how can I explain it? It's so smooth. You can't really do that with a marker. And also when you're coloring with markers, a surface like that that's just one color or two or something like that, it's how can I explain it? The ink from the markers will leave streaks. So you'd have to color it even 2 or even 3 times the streaks will still show, because there's not details, right? Like this here, the bricks and all that jazz. Anybody want a 56 Studebaker Champion ad? I framed that myself. But I won't ship it because it's glass. But I will sell the ad without a frame. See, I'm flexible. You know what I mean? And then we have a whole bunch of junk here. I'm just kidding. There's a whole bunch of mini magazines I have. You know. Oh, and to finish here, this amazing picture, which of course will remind a lot of you rock fans like me of Led Zeppelin, the Led Zeppelin 2 album, the cover. Yeah, that actually comes from a book. So that's it. Yeah, so hope you guys liked it. The camera's running hot. Oh, and finally, I have this here actually. I bought this again over 10 years ago for my mom as a gift, and it's a painting of Crescent Street. Yeah, it's very groovy. I have it on Kijiji, and you can see it's laminated on wood. It's in good shape. It's not great, but it's in good shape. Make me a reasonable offer. I don't know, 20 bucks. You know, I probably have it advertised for much more than that on Kijiji, but that's because I'm trying to change, because I got a bad habit of underpricing things. This is supposed to be sold. Alex, if you're watching this, I want to give this to you. Not give it, but I want to sell it to you. Yeah, you know, because anyway, I did it for you, buddy, so I guess it's not sold necessarily, but it's sold to you. So that's it, guys. Hope you liked it. Take care.